their chest. It's a fitting image, because if it weren't for trees, we wouldn't be able to breathe. By photosynthesizing, plants generate carbohydrates and oxygen in equal measure, nourishing our bellies and filling our lungs. Without them, we'd starve, but not before we choked on lethal levels of carbon dioxide. In this sense, the thousands of fires that raged across North America in 2020, burning more than 8 million acres, charred the lungs of the earth. In those months, some communities gagged on smoke, others on pepper spray. On May 25th, 46-year-old George Floyd was asphyxiated by Derek Chauvin, a Minneapolis police officer who kneeled on Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds with an expression of untouchable, detached superiority. Floyd's alleged transgression was using a counterfeit $20 bill. The assault was caught on video, and perhaps because the pandemic had slowed things down, people paid attention. Floyd's murder galvanized the biggest protest movement in U.S. history, attracting up to 26 million participants by midsummer. Police and federal agents responded with unrelenting force, blinding over a dozen eyes with rubber bullets and burning thousands of people's lungs with chemical weapons, including smoke grenades. In Portland, Oregon, residents used leaf blowers for self-defense, redirecting fumes away from innocent crowds and back toward the cops. Floyd's last words echoed Eric Garner, who uttered a phrase that would become a common chant at Black Lives Matter protests as he was killed by police in New York City in 2014. "I can't breathe." In streets full of tear gas, demonstrators couldn't breathe either. The right wing, predictably, responded to these developments with aggressive denial. Millions of people already devoted to conspiracy theories merely had to add a few new twists to pre-existing narratives to bring them up to date. The coronavirus, like global warming, was a hoax, an elaborate ruse by an elite and evil cabal to control the populace, not a pandemic but a plandemic. Likewise, the fires in California and Washington were not connected to shifting weather patterns caused by greenhouse gas emissions, but the result of arson, violent acts committed by mythic anarchists and anti-fascists who were never found, but who were certainly in cahoots with Black Lives Matter. From his White House perch, Donald Trump amplified falsehoods, uplifted racists, and sowed confusion and doubt. Research showed that he was the single largest source of disinformation about COVID-19. While condemning millions to disease and destitution, Trump told his followers they were victims not of a vastly unequal society, helmed by a sociopathic plutocrat no less, but of public health protocols and marginalized groups seeking equal rights. He comforted those afflicted with delusions that a reassertion of white supremacy and a revolt against a spectral deep state could cure the crisis. A network of right-wing individuals and foundations funded and fomented discontent, emboldening armed vigilantes who gathered at state capitals demanding a return to business as usual. In Michigan, the 14 men arrested for plotting to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer foreshadowed the throng that would enter the nation's capital on January 6, 2021, as Congress was certifying Joe Biden's electoral victory. Carrying weapons and plastic handcuffs, seemingly ready to take hostages, conservative fanatics overran security, denouncing traitors, wearing Confederate flags, wearing neo-Nazi T-shirts, shouting racial slurs, and beating one Trump-supporting cop to death after he dared block their path. Instead of being snapped back to their senses by a fatal illness, people retreated further into fantasy and fallacy, in which face masks were part of a far-reaching conspiracy to suffocate patriots and stifle freedom. According to my dictionary, a conspiracy is a plotting of evil, unlawful design, a combination of persons for an evil purpose. This is the definition that describes the most popular conspiracy theories of our day.